And the same things you were saying about your fiance, you say them on Facebook. And you affirm him constantly.
Thank you.
It is
you hear that, boo?
That's right.
He said he's always telling me, like, you don't post. I was like, are you what?
We know who her fiance is.
That's all I do.
Starring Timothy Brown, Cool Care, Brittany Carter, Lady s.lee, David Ellerby, Queens and Kings at the round table.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Apes Cafe. We live direct on the airwaves. I hope that you like, subscribe, share. Today we got a special guest. I'm gonna have everybody introduce themselves. Starting with Sis.
Peace, y'all. Y'all know who it is. Queen Brittany coming at y'all with the family. And Queen Lady s.lee. I'm super excited about this episode.
Super.
What's up, man? It's your boy Cool Kev, a.k.a. Been here, been a little bit everywhere.
He said everywhere. Oh, me. I'm Timothy Raw. Here you go, Chief.
I'm Dave. I'm just over here beside Tim.
Microphone check. We do have to go over microphone etiquette one day.
Okay, I will go over microphone etiquette. Hi, this is just Dave.
And what's up, y'all? I'm s.lee. I'm happy to be here.
We happy
Thanks
too.
for having me.
Oh yeah, thank you.
What's up?
What's up?
So how everybody doing? First of all, I doing
I'm
good?
great.
Yeah, I'm extremely
phenomenal.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's.
I'm doing pretty good.
Vibrate real
I just got
high.
finished
Hello.
fishing, man, at a private, private little spot.
Mhm.
You have to have a fishing license to
Not where we was at.
Hey, that's self-incrimination.
Oh, you're right.
Listen,
Yeah, private spot. You don't have
Listen,
to.
the game warden is real. He's worse than the feds, dog. You had a fishing license.
Hey, nah, see, I can answer that one because we was at a private spot.
That don't mean nothing in the state of North Carolina. Trust me.
Well, they ain't got no business over there.
Right.
DJ Barbarian, you might have to fact check that. We don't allow self-incrimination. But anyway, I would say this. I heard you are artists. First of all, I didn't do my homework. So this man to my right got on me today about not doing my homework. But I like to not know anything. So when I have an artist or anybody come on the podcast, I could be just, like new. Like I'm, So what I want to know, first of all, who you are.
Okay.
I want to know what music you're working on. And I want to know the why factors. But we're gonna start off. I got plenty of questions.
Okay.
So who are you? Let me get a little intro.
I am a goddess. And, so people in Jersey know me as Lady. People out here know me as s.lee in the music world.
Okay.
I've been doing music since I was like 14 years old.
Word.
Yeah, I started off singing. I did poetry, theater, everything.
Yo, the theater.
Loving
that's
theater
a whole
kid.
vibe. Same here. Okay.
Yeah.
Already vibrating right there. Theater's a whole world. Shout out to my theater geeks.
Yes.
Definitely connected.
Yes. And and I'm just like a lover of people. So I like to leave people better than how they came when they first come around me. I want them to feel better about themselves. So personally, I love women, right? Not in that way, but I love women. And I like lifting us.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like lifting us and making us feel great because I can't stand when you walk into a room and it's like a group of women. I don't know why Black women specifically, we do this to each other. But instead of everybody saying like, hey, how you doing? People like looking at you crazy. Like, I just want to change that narrative.
Right.
That's very common. I see that too.
Yeah.
Men is not as much, but it's more so with Black queens.
I don't know why that happens.
Society did that.
I mean, I could break that.
I could be society did that.
It's such a shame.
Yeah, it's such a
I'm working to
way
change
of-
that. Yeah.
So hold on. Earlier you said you from Jersey?
I'm from Jersey.
Okay, I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey.
Oh
okay,
yeah, I'm from Englewood, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Cape May County, New Jersey.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
But
Nice. Shout out to
his
BK.
neighbors in the city, Okay.
Yeah,
Vibrating even more. All right.
That's it.
Ain't no White Castle down here.
Yeah, I know. And there's no real, like when people like New York pizza, I'm like, y'all don't know what New York pizza is. I love NC, I love y'all, but y'all don't know what New York pizza is.
It's all about water, all about that water.
Yeah, thanks.
So you say, I'm sorry to jump right
good.
into
No,
it,
you
but
good.
it's already on my mind.
Yeah,
You say
come
you
with it.
started doing music at 14.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Because that's pretty brave at 14. You know.
Yeah. So, and I'm transparent about this. So, the environment that I grew up in was very heavy for me. Very heavy. It wasn't the most. It wasn't a very safe feeling environment, and I needed an outlet for myself. So I started off like writing poetry, and I was like, oh, I feel like I can like rhyme a little bit. And then, can I shout people out on this?
Go ahead.
Shout out to the orphanage, Inglewood, New Jersey. Shout out the orphanage because, and I always do this. I always give them their props. So there was this group. They were like the Wu-Tang of like Jersey, for real. And they were super dope, and they were like lyricists, right? And everyone knew me from like singing and doing my poetry thing. And I used to always like do hooks for them.
Oh, okay.
And
You was already writing then.
Yeah, I was already writing, and that was my outlet. And I used to be in the studio with them, and I'm like, I know I could do this shit. Like, I know I can. And then the first time I was like, tried to like rap, they all like laughed at me, right? And I was so humble about it. I was like, all right, whatever. So then I went back home. I'm like, all right, I got some shit. Next time, I'm just gonna do it. And I remember we were like in the studio, I'm singing a hook or whatever. And afterwards, people just throwing a beat and everybody's doing their thing. So I'm like all heart beating all fast. I'm like, as soon as they stop, I'm just going to do it. And when I started rapping, like I was so into it, I'm not really paying attention. Everybody was quiet. And the look, it's like I feel people's energy. The feeling that I got, I was like, oh shit.
You knew you had it.
Got it. That's it. Done.
You went fishing, you hooked them in.
That's what started it. Just wanting to have a voice and be able to express what I was feeling, you know? And like writing did that for me. Like it took me away from reality in a way. And then it was my outlet. It was like a diary for me.
That energy in writing is escapism, because you like literally could get out of your realm. And I know that because I'm a writer. And
nice.
I feel that. Definitely.
Writing is powerful.
Right. Yeah. So coming from there up until now, what has that journey been like diving into music? Because you still do music now.
I do.
Right?
Yeah. So it's been interesting because I really want to use like every gift that I've been given, right? And music has created so many outlets for me. And I've met so many dope ass individuals from like different walks of life. So I'm so thankful for that. You know, and then theater helps me to do like acting, you know what I'm saying? And like people reach out to me like, oh, you should try this podcast. Hey, you want to get on this show? Like you want to, and I would have never had those outlets had I have not, you know what I'm saying? Stepped out there and put myself out there. So music has always been like, music is my baby. And it has always been my baby. And every time I'm like, oh, I'm going to leave it, I can't leave.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask you. Have you ever been, because even in my lane, it's been plenty of times I just got sick of doing the thing that I love, and not because I was not wanting to do the thing, but it was the controversy and the conflict that used to surround it sometimes.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
What has that been like?
So for me, you know, we're women, right? So it's like you have to always like keep yourself a certain way. And then, you know, I mean, for myself, I'm getting older too. I'm like, I'm not gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
With the drama. Right, with the drama.
And you know, was I guess a great thing is I've never really been about that. Like I feel like people can feel my energy. Like I'm very cool. I'm not no one to fuck with. Like I'm cool. I'm not gonna play no games.
That's that Jersey level, y'all. That's that Jersey level. You know,
but I'm not about like drama, and I don't want to be. I don't even want people coming. Like people come to my shows, they like, yo, she the shit. She gonna put on a great show. I'm gonna feel great. I want you to feel like you're a part of it. But you're not gonna be like, damn, I want to knock everybody out when you leave. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to put that out there like that. You know. Right. So I feel like just for me, it's just really figuring out, not even figuring out, but like, what's next? Like, where am I gonna go with it? What do I want to do with it? You know, develop someone else coming up. Continue, because I still write for people too. You know, a lot of people don't realize, I write for a lot of people. So it's like, I can still do that. So, you know, we'll see.
How it is writing for other people? Because like, and the reason why I say that, shout out to a legendary MC known as KRS-One.
Hello.
He talk about, you know, just the aspect of writing. Like, it's hard for me. I can write for somebody because I have done it before, but I felt like it was very powerful in a sense. Like I'm giving a piece of myself. How do you compartmentalize that and write tailor a song for another artist?
So,
or what's your way of doing it? Because everybody got a different niche of doing it.
Do you gotta sit down with them experience.
I kind of do like this. So I have a song right now that's unreleased. And someone that is like known out there right now, female rapper, their people heard the song and wanted the song. And I was like, hell no, I can't. It's my baby. I can't do it. And I still think about it. I was like, damn, I probably should have did it. Cause like, but the money doesn't drive me. Like the passion drives me. It really does. So everybody's like, get your coin and that's your way in. And the only reason why I hesitate and I think about it now, like I believe everything happens for a reason. So I don't regret the moment, but I feel like it was a learning moment because had I have given her that, it would have been my name on it for the credits for who, and she's big, she's out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So to your point, to answer your question though, I don't really sit down with the person like I'm like a strong writer. So when I feel whatever, I like quirky music, I'll do like dark music, deep, whatever, and then I'll let people hear it. And it's called references. I'll send out a reference. You know what I'm saying? And like people will hear it like, oh, that sounds like, hey, listen, would you want to sell this for them? And that's what happened to the song that I had. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Have you ever given a song away and you really wish you'd have kept it for yourself? Like,
yes. when I was an R&B singer, and I was signed many, many moons ago, and I was writing for people, and I wrote this dope ass song, this dope R&B song, and I ended up giving it away, and I was like, I should have kept this. Like, why did I do it?
Like, I heard so many artists like Neil, Money Love.
She's so fire.
I've heard so many of them talk about that they gave away some of their best songs to artists and never got any credit or nothing because they signed that, they had that GoFundMe.
It's a dirty game, man.
It was like, you can't put your name on this. I gotta appear like I wrote this.
Y'all would be surprised how many. How many people?
Because when you say
and you thinking they writing their stuff, and you like they really don't.
Because when you were saying right, and I'm like, you were talking about like the artist, and I know what you didn't say that you couldn't say their name. You gotta keep it right because they always want to say I'm one of the best writers out there, and you sitting there like, I don't think you wrote that. That was all.
But there's not one person on this earth or any realm that can ever say they wrote for s.lee. Let me just throw that out there.
Yes, I feel that.
If you hear it and it's out there, I wrote it.
I don't think I can have anybody actually write for me.
Me neither.
I just because I vibrate too differently to be written for. I can write for you. I can give a piece of myself. Right. But I don't need the help. And not knocking anybody who accept any type of ghostwriting from artists. I'm not nerfing that. I'm saying like just for me, I just can't. I want to get in the mix of doing everything. I want to be in the studio doing the writing part. My producer, shout out to DJ Barbarian, hardest person to work with. Really? For me, from my perspective, it's like you in there. I want to turn that decibel up, just that decibel up a little bit higher. Oh, wait a minute, make sure
that's what the producer does.
No, he does all of that, but I'll be in there too, like because I know it's just a little bit about producing. Okay, I'm not a producer. You know the sounds. Okay. I'll be like, let me just turn that up right here. DJ, go ahead and he'd be like, man, I hate working with you. Like, I know it'll grow back.
It always does.
Do you ever feel like as a female MC? Because I've listened to some of your work.
Yeah.
And like,
I want to listen to it. I'm jealous that I haven't.
Look her up on Facebook.
Yeah.
But
on all platforms.
Like your recent work.
Yeah.
With your fiance.
Okay.
And Lee Hustle. I'm shout out Lee Hustle because I don't want him to put me on the Petty Podcast and all that. You know how you do it.
Shout out to the Petty Podcast.
But did you feel like you had to murk them on purpose? Because I listened to it and I was like, yeah, they did their thing, but she stood out. Like she stepped out like a general and just looked at them like, yeah, all right, y'all.
Say that.
Y'all are here. Even though you're my fiance and I love you, but bro, I gotta do you. And, do you ever feel like as a female MC that you have to prove that you can just punish them at will when you want to, or is that just something that you just do once you just like go on the phone booth and turn into Superwoman immediately?
I'm gonna turn into Superwoman. I'm gonna always do me. Like, and there's a switch for me. Like this me is different than when I'm in the booth.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I get in there, I'm gonna turn up and I just zone out.
Yeah. So there's no love.
I feel that.
Nah.
I mean, watching your videos, you can see. Yeah, but watching your videos, you can see that. You know, because I watch the videos and you look like just as confident and powerful as a Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? And you stepped out and the body language is with it and the energy is with it. And now I'm sitting here like out from walking in here. It's just like, oh yeah, this is. You know what I'm saying? It's total different.
Yeah. Because I'm like super, I really am like I had a friend, and I've known her for years now, and she met me at one of my shows in New York at this, right?
Okay.
And now we all moved out here together, and she was like, I was waiting on you to just switch up. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I just didn't believe that you're this person. She was like, I really thought that this was like a persona, and you were like, oh, I'm just acting cool. But I'm really like, there is no false. I'm either this or I'm on go. There's no in between for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So when I'm like, when it's the music or I know it's time to turn up, I'm like, and I love being able to master energy. You know what I'm saying? And like, if I'm like, I know I don't got them right now, but I'm about to get you in a minute.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm going to walk in
Especially if you
dolo, but I'm going to
collaborate.
leave with everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the goal of it. Like, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Hey, Carrie, can you do me one favor? Can you make sure my son don't get near that camera? That's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Apes Cafe.
Yes.
I must say, what is the, and back to you, Queen, what is that engine, the fuel that fuels your in to do what the things you do? Because everybody got like either a person or some type of something to motivate them to do what they do. What is one of your biggest motivational factors in moving and even in life in general? Because you came in this house, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm intuitive to energy.
Yeah.
She came in this house, I don't know you from anything. You know what I mean? Came in here, she came in here, no pretend gestures of admiration, no hidden agendas. And her end was just, I'm me, I'm not being fake. I'm just in a state of just energy. I don't like people overdose on the statement of positive and negative because you need both. Right. But she was just being herself, and I respect that. You know what I mean? Like so. But what's the motivational factor of you moving in this world? What inspires you?
I want to be for people what I needed for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like and that motivates me. Like more than anything. Like we were walking up. I don't know who these two young dudes were.
No, I don't either.
Right? And like this young boy, like he's like, listen, she was like, hey you guys. Or I can't remember what you said. It was so sweet what you said. Yeah. Peace, y'all. And he was like, hi. And I was like, how you guys doing? And he like turned to me and gave me like the sweetest smile. And I was like, look at your smile. And both of them just lit up, right?
Yeah,
you know, and it's like, I don't know, moments like that, like I remember being a younger kid, you know what I'm saying? And you never know what people are going. Like, these young kids are hurting out here.
You don't know what.
I promise you they're hurting. And and it's grown-ass women and men that's hurting out here. People it's just a shift lately. And I want to just bring light. Like, I really want to bring light to everything.
That's rare nowadays.
It is. Yeah. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go first.
No, I mean, because with you having that type of personality, it makes me wonder what family life is like for you.
Now or like growing up?
Now. Like
Both.
your how you,
Let's start with now and then go back.
So I guess I'm trying, in what way exactly?
I mean, like what is your reality? You know what I'm saying? Outside of music, outside of artistry, you know. As women, I feel like we're always, it's like you meet us and it's like we have to, now we have a list of things. But there was at one point where I didn't have a list of things to say, oh, I'm Queen Brittany and I'm a mom and I'm a this and I own this and I do this and this is my profession and then I do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like we
so
wear so many hats.
outside of all the hats, outside of stepping in front of the camera, you know, what is family life like for you behind closed doors? Are you family oriented?
Oh yeah. So I am family's everything to me. And I am one of those like mushy, not overly mushy, but I'm a mushy loving person.
Yeah.
Like if I talk to my sister or I have a daughter, if I talk to my daughter 3 times a day, before I hang up, every 3 times I'm like, I love you.
Yeah.
Right. Or like if we're texting, hey, I love you. Or out of the blue, just want to let you know you're so powerful. You know, like, and I'm really on that. You know what I mean? And so I try to do that with like even in my love life. Like I like to pour. You know what I'm saying? And like, and like, I mean, you know, so
that billboard was everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's real. That's gangster.
Yeah.
Even though it was y'all know how it goes here.
I'm sorry, y'all. Interruptions. Continue.
Even though, you know, it's like, it was a big gesture, but it was the heartfelt nature of the gesture. I mean, like, I'm friends with
Tell what it was, Dave, so everybody knows. So
her fiance was on a billboard going across the river. on Father's Day, and it was about how great a father was. And let me tell you how big that was. Prior to this on Facebook, we always every year in Wilmington, we have a discussion about all the women and how they hate on the fathers and this, that, and the third, and they don't ever give us our moment. And I will say this. Every one of my friends talked about that was male. That was one of the sweetest, nicest things a woman could ever do because of that affirmed him in ways, and by you affirm him, you affirmed a lot of real fathers in the same moment because they was like, wow, like somebody really gets it that sometimes we just want our flowers.
That is so deep. Oh my God.
He's like, real talk. Like everybody was like, yo, like that was just like, it was like almost a calm.
That is high level.
That was like, because it was like, just affirm. We see moms get affirmed all the time, but Dad, it's hard out here. It's hard out here.
That's very true.
You know what, too, is to your point, it's like, I feel like men can carry so much and heavy is the head, right?
Heavy is the head that burdens the crown.
You guys don't really verbalize your feelings the way that a woman can.
Right.
And I'm learning being in this relationship specifically that, you know, I'm very much a communicator and he can internalize a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And he's not going to just say, I had a horrible ass day.
Right. No,
he's not going to do that. You know, so I can sit back and watch certain things and we've had to like learn one another. And this man is a phenomenal father. And whether, you know, his kids' moms may agree or not, I know what I see for myself. And I know the love that he has for his children,
That's
you know?
all that matters.
And yeah, and I'm like,
That's
you know
exactly
what? This
what
man
matters.
goes through so much and there's so much that he fights that I know he's not telling me. This is the one thing I could do for him and hopefully put a smile on his face and in his heart. You know what I'm saying? So he knows I see you.
Yeah.
I validate you when I see you.
That's very important.
Validation.
Validation.
Like for years of us being social media friends.
Yeah.
To meet you in person.
Yeah.
Is to understand that the stuff that you say on social media, you really carry it into your real life.
Yes.
This in the like 45 minutes before the show, we was all just chopping it up.
An hour.
Okay, Tim. But it was like you came in like you was just one of the members of the podcast. You were chilling. There was no like we hadn't even set up or nothing. You know, sometimes people like
God molding goddess. Fearless.
Oh my God, they haven't set up. I'm ready to go.
Nah,
she was just like, yo, y'all got something to drink, some water. You know, just you were real relaxed. And your energy, Brittany always speaks on that, I always speak on it now. Like, energy is big. Like, when people sit beside you, sometimes you be like, yeah, this you're like warming. Like, you just have an energy that says, this is a genuine person. And she cool. Like, you know, social media, you can say whatever on there. But when you came in, it was like, yo, she really is who she says she is. Like, it was like amazing to me because like most of the time people ain't who they say they are.
They're not.
The fact is that you know her on social media and then you met her in reality. There's no such thing for me as consequences. Oh, not consequences. Coincidence.
Right.
That's actually the same for her and I.
Yeah, I don't believe in.
So today is my first day actually officially meeting her.
Yeah. Okay, word.
But we follow each other on Instagram and are always giving each other flowers on Instagram.
That's right. And
She's
supporting one another.
On Facebook.
That's funny.
Same thing. So it's like
that's so funny.
It is.
So
and the same things you were saying about your fiance, you say them on Facebook. And you affirm him constantly.
Thank you.
You
hear that, boo?
That's right.
He said he's always telling me, like, you don't post. I was like, are you what?
We know who her fiance is.
That's all I do.
Shout out to.
Yeah, we go ahead. You want to shout him out? I want you to shout him out.
Shout out to YG, Lamar. Wow.
We
my
know,
baby.
We know that's your fiance. You affirmed it, and if he ever has any questions, we know. We ain't got to guess. She is always affirming him.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
And the crazy thing about it is her personality matches everything she said for these years. And I'm like,
well, let me interject because I love to see that you're a fan. Yes. When is what you working on right now? Like musically, what are you doing?
I'm
gonna be on in
I'm
business.
A fan of the whole creative process.
I see that. I see
Not just the music now.
I want to see the music. Yeah, the whole creative, multifaceted.
So I do these things, and they're like not really workshops, but they're sessions for women.
Okay.
And I did one. I would love for you to come to the next one too. Like I did one, and I was like, if I get like 15 people, I'll be happy about it. And like 30-something people came. 30-something women came, and I wasn't even expecting it to be that. And I just wanted it to be like a healthy, growing space where people could come in and just talk. right? And I opened it up with affirmations. I ended it with affirmations,
Right.
and told everybody it's a safe space. If we hear anything that comes back, you know, that was a Jersey. I'm like, I hear anything that come back, you ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? It was like that sort of thing. But I wanted people to feel like safe. And know that
that's very important.
Yeah, like we hear you and we care about you,
and we don't judge you.
Right? There's no judge because we all go through shit.
Right. That's
like,
so important.
I'm so far from perfect. I can be moody. I can be a bitch. Ask my dude, he'll tell you. You know, like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not perfect at all, and I have my moments, but I'm always growing, and it's always coming from a pure place. That's what I tell people. I'm like, even in my worst moment, it's coming from my best self.
Yes.
Period. Always.
Yes.
The safe place is so important. It always starts with having the right energy output in a place of safe, you know, having a safe area. And I guess I agree with Brittany when she said a few episodes ago that I'm the biggest feminist. And having a safe place doesn't mean just a safe place for men, but definitely more so for women. So I definitely agree with having a safe place.
How has it been being a woman in the music industry?
So I've always, and I'm very proud of this, because like when people are like, oh, I've heard your stuff or I follow you, it makes me feel a sense of accomplishment because I've always managed myself. Nobody's ever managed me. Like, anything I've featured on. We did a tour where somebody really put me on the tour, but it's a lot. Yeah. But it's like, I know the vision that I have for myself, right? And like I said, a couple of years back, I was like signed, and they wanted to completely change my image and wanted me to like be more sexual and and
we all playing on a trope of sex sells.
And if you really watch, you know, I'm a big advocate for women. I love female rappers. Like I love it because I know what it takes to get there. So I'm always hyping us up.
Right.
But certain individuals, if you watch their journey that's out there and watch what they started from to like what they start doing, you'll see it. Yeah. You'll see it. And a lot of times it's not them. It's their label saying, nah, you got to get your body done. Yo, dude, like you need to show some breasts. Yo, you need to twerk it on stage. And like, and me, I just always knew it's not like, I ain't being funny. If I wanted to shut the internet down, I can.
Right.
I don't show my body like that purposely. You know what I'm saying? Like, could I? Sure. But I don't, you know? And like, I don't have to do that. So it's like, and I can open up those doors without doing that. So it's interesting because it's like when it's male dominated, first of all. Of
course.
And then you see a woman like me and I come in very feminine. I'm not like rah-rah unless I'm in the booth. Then I'm rah-rah.
Gotta be rah-rah in the booth.
But like I come in like very feminine and people think that they could play with me. And then that's when I have to say, nah, I'm not really wanting to be played with. Like, and I know my business. Yeah. I know my business.
It's sad to say it, but hearing interviews of a lot of female rappers, they talk about it like, what was it? She said in an interview, I think it was the Breakfast Club, one of them, that it wasn't just they want her to be more sexual. They want that people want on her album favors for a feature. Like instead of cash, like, yo, if you sleep with me, blah blah blah, I'll feature on your album.
They were trying her. That's what they do. It sucks.
And that's like, man, that's kind of low. Like
it is.
Like
it is, and I have to say that it doesn't only happen in the.
It's more common.
Industry.
Yeah, it's more common than what you think.
For women, period.
It happens for women all over. Yeah. And like we were having a conversation before the podcast started. That's like the thing for all goddesses, all queens, all women who want to be heard and want to be respected and want to be acknowledged. You know, they tend to the society that we live in. And not even just because we can go all the way back to Sarah Barnett and prior to that, you know, they've been trying to sexualize us, been trying to minimize us, been trying to shut us up, you know, which causes a lot of conflict in how we communicate with each other. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think just in the music industry in itself, just being a woman. I mean, I get the same thing from the podcast. Like people will come like, what is it like being the only girl on the podcast and how do they talk to you or what is it? And then it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I ain't even anybody that knows me personally, first of all, knows that I'm not going to be a part of anything that's going to make me minimize myself.
Absolutely.
You know, first and foremost. But how many times as women do we actually go through trying to move in places in the world, even being a female entrepreneur,
Facts.
even though females are the leading entrepreneurs in this country, we still get in the boardroom with a group of men and they don't really want to hear our point or don't want to take our advice or want us to not speak as much. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think just being a woman and being true to yourself and going after your dreams and using your gifts and being bold in life in itself, there's like a constant conflict of always having to prove who you are.
That's true. And I think that is a great sadness.
And what you know.
Like,
and what you can do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you shouldn't have to, if I know you great, you should have to tell me, hey, you're great. You know what I mean? Like for me, what I realized, a lot of men felt to know how to deal with being around women.
I know.
Not just any woman, strong woman. Powerful women.
Yes.
So like maybe the majority, and for me, the majority of the people in my family are women. So I have no problem being around queens. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of men, they get around a beautiful woman. And they, oh my gosh, you see that thing over there? Oh my gosh, you see that? You see that? I know you ain't. You see that? You see that? You see that woman over there? Like, bro, it's a time and place for everything. This ain't the strip club. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know how to have a little bit of
nature
of principle and integrity for yourself and for others. More so for others than yourself. Right. But yeah, I do agree. I do agree with. It's a great sadness. Like, men don't know how to act around strong women, and it shows. It shows, and you look in. It is really embarrassing.
Watch how some of these dudes move around women. It's like, I don't know if you.
It makes it hard for for me as a podcast, like just as just being of a podcast. If I go to a woman and I say I want to interview you, the first thing they may have in their mind is, oh, well, you perhaps want to sleep with me, and I'm like, first of all, I'm married. 2, no business with pleasure. You know what I mean? And 3, like that's. Nah, like it's all about just having love. But how can you show love and respect towards queens in a world where they've been so disrespected?
It's called you grow up and be a man about it. But anyway, it's like
true.
As women, I've watched women come to like Brittany said, come to the podcast. My wife has said she's got another woman on the other side, or when Erica said there's another woman. But like when you came
Erica could be missing shows because of you.
But anyway, when you came in, it's like a lot of podcasts, whatever, you got men on there, they're just, the first thing they're doing, they're like, that's not where I was at. That's not where, like, my personal, first of all, I got 3 daughters, so I already got that mentality. Like, you came in, my thing was trying to find out what your latest project is, what your music is, and stuff like that.
Right.
And I've seen it on different other podcasts, even professional level. Halfway through the podcast, they're drooling over some titties and some ass, and it makes them look clownish. Like, dude, you call her here to talk about her professional career. Halfway through it, you're trying to hit on her.
I've seen that in the podcast.
And I ain't gonna call out no podcast.
That's disturbing.
Some of them, they're clowning or whatever.
That's disturbing as hell.
When I watch it, like, I watch a couple of them, and I just cringe, like, at the way they looking, because if they see themselves and then their daughter was sitting on that couch beside that
they don't care
person,
though. This world.
No, I'm tell you something. You have girls, and you look back at how you doing something, and you see somebody doing the same thing, you start thinking like, yo, I shouldn't have did that.
But it shouldn't take for you only that, because I have no daughters. But it shouldn't take you for you to only. I do have a wife, but even then, even when I was single, like it shouldn't take for you to have a daughter, to have a fiance or a wife, or just have regular respect.
I mean, you got a mom.
Right. Everybody comes from a woman. So that's power in itself,
so
right?
You have your women's empowerment things. What is a lot of can you, before I go there, because you did say you can't let everything out. What are some of the general things that women bring up about just how they maneuver in business and everything in life around just men in general? Because a lot of times I don't hear them talk about it's about the experiences they go through just trying to handle business and stuff like that and be taken seriously.
So I can't speak for all women, but I feel like some of the ones that I've spoken with, and from a personal stance, it's always us. We always have to prove ourselves. I mean,
too much. That's sad.
In every setting. Not every setting.
Hold that thought, sis. Did you have to prove yourself on this podcast? Did you ever felt that way? Did you feel like even if you did you feel like you was pressured to do so?
She felt it tonight. Whether she's gonna say that to you,
yeah,
or not,
I was gonna be honest.
Absolutely.
What was
not to speak for you, but
right? Yeah, but now
because
we see that
you said it was an interview. You did change. Like when you was at first, when we said it was an interview, I watched your face change.
And that wasn't y'all's intent. But
No, it never was my intent.
Type of
and not even in the beginning, because I mean, in the beginning, I didn't know you guys, you know, and there's never been any setting that I didn't have to prove myself in, you know, even with how I look. You know, it's like my entire life I've been judged as soon as I walk in the door, you know, whether it's she thinks she cute or she thinks she's smart or she thinks she better.
I judged her.
Or
the first time I met, everybody judge everybody. I didn't judge her based on appearances and stuff. I judged her on the quality of energy.
That's what you're supposed to do.
When I first met Brittany, I didn't have no pretend gestures of admiration to hit it agendas.
And I felt that. But even when you called me about coming on the podcast, I still had felt that pressure of it just was a good time for me. Right. You know, because I have just been in a space, you know, most recently in the past almost 2 years now where it's the constant thing I keep saying, when you know who you are, nobody can tell you who you are.
That's right.
You know? So because I know who I am now, it does take away some of that pressure for me to feel like I have to be accepted.
Right.
But did the pressure of the responsibility of being the only female on the podcast, Tim? Come on now. That was.
Stevie Wonder can see that.
Yeah.
Did you feel pressure that night where you had to host the women's episode?
Yes.
Yes, that was big.
I kind of threw that pressure on. I ain't gonna lie.
He did.
Okay, I did.
He throws pressure on me all the time. And then
he's
he's sitting here trying to act like.
But
it's good.
When it comes,
it was good though.
I'm about to alley-oop that back to you because I didn't interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
When it comes with somebody who understands the concept of energy, anybody who's meditating and vibrating, nothing really does have pressure. Like if you really think about it, you can trick yourself into messing up, right? Like if you know she came in here, queen moding, God moding, she said she got it. I always felt that way with you. I feel like you handle pressure. Even if she don't show it, she handled pressure in that zone of understanding the concept of energy. She went in a football stadium yard, did poetry in front of hundreds of people.
She even said like
thousands of people
Queen,
handled the pressure. She went to a poetry jam. Now, everybody can argue or to know how to freestyle, know how to get the bust the rhyme or bust the verse, whichever comes first. Blasey. But that means absolutely nothing. I can't do some of the things that you can do. I feel like you can handle pressure. But if I ever applied pressure, so you have to prove yourself, I apologize. Because women should not, and this is probably why I'm a feminist, I guess. Women should always have to prove themselves. They shouldn't be able to prove themselves in a regular conversation amongst allies, friends, and comrades.
They're not always allies.
That's not. No. That's very true. But if it's here at this table, if you sit at the table podcast wise, you know what I mean.
Real good when you said something, and you might not think that it impacted me, but something you said to me made me feel real good because at one time, we've talked about my grime-era years in life, but when you said you never felt a lustful moment out of me, and I sit like where you're sitting, she sits right here, so a lot of times I'm like behind her. She feels comfortable to have me behind her, and having daughters and having a wife. So many times I've heard them say, I didn't like that dude sitting behind me because I felt his energy.
I've called them up to my shop before because I didn't like how a male was in my
That's
shop.
very true.
And like especially with you being in like a more male-dominated industry with the music. And
you about to alley-oop it back to you.
And even with the theater.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like sometimes you just don't feel comfortable in a space and you want to just get up out of there, or you want to correct the people immediately like, hey, look, this ain't what I'm here for.
I hate that you have to go through all that. I ain't gonna lie. But go ahead, continue. It's a damn shame.
So if you think about it too, like right now, and I was having this conversation with somebody, right? It's like, I don't like to say that we do it to ourselves, but look at the caliber of women right now. Like we're kind of moving backwards. It is bad, you know. No, it is though. And so it's like, I mean, even down to everything is just out there. You know what I'm saying? Women are booty ball ass naked. Can I curse on this?
Go for speech.
Okay.
Girl, we ain't monetized yet.
Booty ball naked on social media. I mean, they don't care if you are involved with somebody. They like, well, I'll be the side. I'll shut up when she call. Like, I mean, we're just moving ourselves so far backwards.
It is
so now it's like we're already fighting. Like, all right, listen, I want to be hear me.
Right.
And now it's like, I'm not even gonna ask to be heard. You're just gonna listen. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But we have to assert ourselves in that manner.
Right.
So we already were there.
Right.
Now it's like we have to deal with men already feeling like, I don't gotta respect this chick because look at what they're used to.
But the men also are retrograding because when I view men, brotherlyhood, manhood in the 60s and now, in the 60s, I feel like men stood up for their princesses, men stood up for the queens, men stood up for the elderly, the geriatrics. And now there's a juxtaposition. I had an episode a few episodes ago, and every woman at that episode, including Queen Brittany, went through some trauma with just men. Mm-hmm. And nobody, I felt like there was a protection factor missing from that equation. And I fucking hate that. Like, I'm like, yo, where is the man with the shotgun? I need to be a crazy man with the shotgun.
I was like asking, and I was in a hotel, I was in the hallway, and I was like screaming, asking for somebody to help me. And I will say, there was this guy that worked there, and he tried for a second, and he just walked away and left me there. Though. You know what I'm saying? Like, while I'm like, please help me get out of the situation.
That's
like,
so
just help me.
You see that so many times.
That's fucked up.
And people like just like, oh, you got to mind your business. Like, it's a scary time we're in right now.
It is. Like, I used to work security in the clubs, and I used to see it all the time. Like, it's 100 dudes standing around. Let one of their boys get punched in the face, they all jumping.
Yeah.
Let a girl get drugged across that floor and hit. Security got to come help her.
Isn't that crazy?
Where's the boyfriend? Where's the brothers? Where's the
bystander?
Where's the bystander?
You don't even have to know
ass
her.
whooped and hand it to her. You stand
know
there
what
like
happens?
a punk.
People do this and record before they do anything.
But when your homeboy get punched in the mouth, you run over there and jump air, and y'all jumping. That kind of makes me feel suspect about who you love more. You love your homeboy more than you love your friend.
Yeah, that's a good topic, boy.
Oh, you just hit a
shout out to my
big
homegirl
nerve.
Drama, because I know she talks about all the time all these booty chasing.
Shout out to Drama.
Shout out.
All these booty chasing dudes, but I gotta give her props. She got on me one day. She said, "Dave, if you knew some of the stuff I knew, you would lose respect." And after hearing a lot of this, I have the respect level for a lot of these dudes around here. Y'all letting these women, y'all just, like you said, Tim, they different. They don't even want to. They don't even want to show respect.
Or you respect your homeboy more than you respect your woman.
I kicked the person off my podcast.
That's the woman who holds you down.
I won't reveal his name, but if you go back in the episodes, you'll see. I kicked somebody off in the podcast just because they tried a woman. They just because they challenged. They didn't hit her. They didn't touch her physically. That wouldn't have happened. But the fact that he even attempted to even insinuate that he put his hands on a woman, I can't have that.
Good for you. You kicked them off.
I can't. Oh, expeditiously. Shout out to T.I.
Hello.
Expeditiously. Hell no. Nah.
Because
I would have. I know for a fact what I would have done. Like, I don't need no weapons.
Right.
I got these right here. You know what I mean? Like, nah. I can't tolerate that. That's hell no. But I just hate that shit. I have to go. I get so tired because I don't know where all the men come from. I know I come from a woman, but they act like they forgot where the fuck they come from.
There's a pause with that one because I've said this before, and I know people follow social media. I've said this. A lot of women are asking the question, "What happened to our men?" And I want to say this: a lot of y'all raising these men, and the problem is instead of raising a man to be a man, and I'm not gonna say that you. Sometimes what you're trying to create, you end up creating a monster. You telling your sons, don't take this, don't do this. And the stuff that you're telling them is the exact same stuff you don't want a man to do to you. And then you're letting them witness things that they shouldn't witness in your home. Like you said, you're retrograde. Yeah. You walking around booty butterball ass naked in front of 6 dudes in your house twerking, and then here go your son standing there like this.
Hello.
His example is his mother.
Hello.
That's true. If you carry yourself as a queen, he's going to expect to marry a queen. You carry yourself as a thought. And when he brings a thought through the door, where did he learn it from? Now, I ain't saying in every situation, but you look, 90% of these boys, if you look at their mama and look at the girls that they bringing home, and the way they treat the woman, they go, well, you didn't teach him to treat like that, but he watched people treat you like that.
Right.
You got to demand what you got to demand what you want.
And I feel like a lot of women that I see, I have 3 sons, 4 children, 3 sons. Yeah. And I feel like I've had to teach my sons how to treat me. You know what I'm saying? that's just as plain as it is. You know,
Right.
it starts with who's there.
Right.
You know,
right.
like it's they don't have a girlfriend before they have a mom.
No.
Like they got a mom right here. You know, like how you gonna treat me? Are you gonna open the door for me? Are you gonna get the grocery out the car? Like, are you gonna think about me at dinner time? Are you gonna consider your mother? Or am I gonna serve my child constantly and do everything for him and make him codependent on me and then send him out in the world and expect him to know how to treat a
young
woman?
man should have is she should go on a date with his mother. Pause for y'all thinking some weird shit. When I say that, it's a practice date. And I don't mean kissing, hugging, all that. I mean, take me out to eat, open my door, sit down, talk to me about a conversation and show how to interact. Same thing with fathers. Take your daughter out, show her that a man can take you out and eat and talk and have a regulation conversation. Or just showing them what a normal person is supposed to do. Because it's just crazy, like, to hear people talk that it's not normal. Like, the normalcy right now is for every woman to walk in the room full of men and tense up instead of just relaxing. And the same thing, and it goes opposite way. Sometimes we walk in and we got the chest out because we got to be a certain way instead of just being who the hell we are.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
So with all of this being said, you know, as you said, you're a mother. What has that been like for you?
Motherhood.
My baby's everything.
Look at the smile.
You see the glow, right?
The glow came.
Listen, I love, and my daughter knows this. People know my daughter, but my daughter's name is Soraya. Soraya, you are just everything.
Shout out to Soraya.
Shout out to Soraya. That's my baby. And like, you know, it's beautiful watching her. So my daughter has 2 babies.
What? How old is your daughter?
Shut up, Tim, because you talk bad about grandparents.
If you don't mind. See, now I feel like I can't ask how old your daughter is. But she's a mom.
She's a mom.
Right.
Yeah,
First of all, I'm just
all
the grandparents I know the majority don't look like grandparents. Get to me.
Yeah, we're in a new era now. We are. Yeah, I'm gonna be popping for a long time. Let me say that. 30 years from now, I'm popping. But it's been. I think that she was scared to tell me, thinking that I would be disappointed in her. And, you know, I know what I've instilled in her. You know what I'm saying? And like watching her feed that into her children is just everything. And we have a great, great, great relationship. Even better now that she's older. Because I feel like when she was younger and I would tell her things, it's like, oh, my mom's telling me.
Yeah,
right? I used to get so pissed because I'm like, why are you going to listen to her? I told you the same thing. But it's like, as my mom. Like, she don't know, as if I don't know, right?
Right.
But now she gets it. She gets everything. And now with her own kids, now she's like, oh, all right, mom. Like,
You get to be the cool.
Yeah, I'm like, I told you.
You get to be the cool grandmas versus the grandmas we had back
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Like, you're still popping and they're looking at you like,
my grandma.
So we have this joke, right? So on Facebook, I'll tag her to something. So my grandson's name is Nova with an H, right?
Okay,
Nova.
Nova, and my granddaughter's name is Nalani. Nova and Nalani.
Shout out to Nova and Nalani.
Yes. And so I'll tag her to something. I'm like, Nova's, somebody else's Gigi could never. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they call me Gigi. So, like, it'll be something. I'm like, yeah, they could never. Tell him this is what his Gigi looked like. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's a cool thing. It's a cool dynamic. Yeah. So we have a very, very strong bond. That's my everything. She makes me light up because, like, talking about her, I'm so proud of her.
I mean,
that's important.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It shows the level of parenthood. Like if there is a level, it just shows it's a beautiful thing. I can't really explain it.
It's parents that enjoy being parents, and then it's parents that are parents because it just happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of women that love their children, but then they're always stressed and they're always aggravated and they're always frustrated and they're always whatever.
Right.
And I've even had a guy, I made a post on Facebook maybe a couple of years ago about how much I enjoyed being a mom.
Right.
And I had a guy jump on my post saying, you know, that's not true. It's no way you just saying that.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's like every mom struggles, or every mom, you know, people project.
Right.
So it's like every mom, whatever. And I told, and it was clear to me, and I was even able to deliver it to him in the most nice, confident, nasty way possible.
Nasty.
Absolutely. You know, because when people, I'm going to be honest, you know, when it comes to my children.
Defense mode.
Don't fuck with me.
Right.
Like it's just
Gotta be on the physical.
I
comes to my
gotta say
children,
this
so.
too. I have 2 bonus babies. I call them my bonus daughter and my bonus son because I hate
Right.
step.
Yeah, I don't like
that.
that.
I hate that.
That's
So I say
Yeah.
bonus. So I call her my Boda. So and it's funny because my daughter's name is Saraya. Her name is Sanaya. Isn't that so?
yes.
I
So
like
you know,
that.
and I
So
believe in like
big.
the universe. So
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely
like, wow,
universe.
that's
The
crazy.
universe been
Shout out to
weird
her
lately.
too,
Yes.
and my bonus son. So like, it's just a blessing. Like I'm just, you know,
Right.
I love kids.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like I love kids. So yeah,
Right. That's fine.
Mhm.
That's why I love hearing other women that get excited about having their babies, you know, because outside of everything, outside of the artist,
right,
outside of the woman,
right,
because we can
wear so many
put
hats.
woman and mother in the same category, but as a woman, we know that you can't.
right.
You know, I am a
I feel
woman, but when I'm a mom, I barely am in this character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's different.
I'm a total
It's
different
different.
individual
It
when I'm
is.
in mom mode,
It
you know?
is.
So
Yeah.
it's such a separation between mom
right.
and I'm sure you know your daughter growing up. So it's like
Right.
mom is on TV or mom is doing this
Mhm.
interview or mom is performing here. And when you're with your kids, they don't care about none of that.
Mom
You know
and
what I'm
dad
saying?
ain't
stardom and
Right.
none of
They
that.
don't. They don't
Who
care.
are you?
You
I
know.
do want to throw this out there. I want to say, like, because just in case if we have like a mother watching this, that it's okay to be tired.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be like,
Yeah.
I'm sick of my damn kids. I mean, still love them.
My
Right,
wife tells
absolutely.
me
You know,
all the
because
time.
like it gets tough.
Right.
Yeah.
And like it might be a young mom who has more than one child and they're just like, I'm exhausted,
Right.
I'm tired. That is okay.
Yeah,
Like, I just want to throw that out there. It's
The world
okay.
famous
Yeah.
statement. Fuck them kids.
I'm trying to tell you.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you just get to that point. It's like you want to
For
go like this.
real.
Fuck
I mean,
you,
let's be
fuck
clear.
you,
So
We
if
fuck
you
are
feel
dealing
that
with
way,
other
it's
human
okay.
beings.
Yeah.
Little human beings that
We
have
are
no
dealing
home
with other
training.
human
They don't
beings.
clean it
Yeah.
up. Sorry,
Right.
I'm jetting my own shit out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You know.
But
He said,
They're the little broke best friend.
I feel that.
Right?
Right.
But my little broke best friend said my wife at home right now asleep.
That's, oh, wow.
Facts.
See? 'Cause
Yeah.
she's
Shout out to
tired.
Miss Aislinn.
She tired of them.
Aw.
Like,
I mean, it'd be plenty of times I come home from work and my wife is like, here you go. I need like an hour.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like, I got you.
your
I got
your
you.
wife is a stay-at-home mom, and that is way more
That's a
difficult
full-time
than
Right, that is a full-time
working
job.
and then being a mom. Just to say,
Absolutely.
because I've done both.
Yeah.
But yeah, but to piggyback off what you just said, so I don't want to make it look like it's never hard, but
Right.
when you enjoy being a parent, when it is hard, you have the resilience,
Yes.
you know, to
Yes.
continue
Fully
to
Perseverance is
move
important.
forward and
Yes.
positivity and in love,
Yes.
even after those frustrating moments,
Mhm.
you know.
Facts.
I love that. I agree.
Moving forward.
Well, moving forward.
Well, I want to ask you a question. Do you have any current projects that you're working on that you would like to highlight?
That's what we
right now?
interrupted earlier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I believe in being fully transparent. I haven't been feeling inspired lately. Like I just had this conversation last night,
Okay.
like with the music. And I had somebody tell me, like, all right, well, there's times I don't feel inspired, but I still gotta record these people. So like if this is what you want to do, you just gotta do it, you know?
Right.
But it's like, so I go in these moments sometimes where I'm just like, ugh, I'm just not feeling it. Like I don't listen to the radio and I have to just go within and be
Right.
still.
That was
You know
going
what
to
I'm
be my
saying?
question to you. What do you do to go within?
So water is very healing for me.
Facts.
And so I will go literally sit like in a
Water.
park where there's like water.
What is very healing?
Yeah, and I will
feel
sit
that.
Indian style and by myself, and
that.
I'll have like a little book, some water, and I just zen out.
I
You
feel
know,
that.
and it just automatically calms me. Like it does. Nature calms
Nature,
me.
yeah.
So like, and you know, listening to like instrumentals that's like in my, you know, like jazz or something like soft music, meditation, frequencies. Like
So you do
I'll
meditate?
put yeah.
Of course, I feel
and
that.
I'm
I feel
trying
that.
to get better because my brain goes. I'm talking about all the time. Boom, boom, boom. I can have a conversation. My brain's doing this the whole time.
Facts.
You know, so I'm trying to learn how to quiet myself.
And
so I
meditation
can hear my
creates
inner
that
self.
quietness.
Yeah. So I used to do Headspace.
Okay.
And then
That's
they started
different.
charging for it, and my cheap ass was like, nah.
Yeah,
Yeah, nah, y'all lost me then.
Yeah.
But I'll do like Hertz. And I'll turn on it. So
Facts.
Hertz
And that's a
is
real
so
thing.
good.
That's a real thing, though.
Really? Well, I mean, there are
you gotta,
frequencies.
Yeah,
and
that's-
and I will
yeah,
literally
right.
put on there like
What's the hertz?
Mental like clarity frequency.
Yeah, it might be like 744,
Yes.
942,
Yes.
or 10.
And you know what I'll do?
something.
I'll scroll until it feels like something.
Exactly.
And
I
when
do
I
that.
look, and then I'm like, this feels like something. Boom. And I'll do it and I'll hear it in like if I'm in my car or at home and I'm like, okay. And I'll feel my spirit start like, and
You
I'm like, all right,
receive it.
cool. Yeah.
favorite-
That's a form of meditation.
My favorite is chill
What is very
hop.
important?
I prefer everybody to chill hop.
Chill out.
Chill hop, yeah,
No,
yeah.
chill hop.
It's a type of
like not hip
genre.
hop, but chill hop.
Really?
Yeah,
we
Ooh,
go
some
on,
I'ma
genre.
try
on
it.
YouTube. I used
Chill
to
hop.
like I was stressed out like coming up. So when I went to college and shit like that. So most of the time I had got my work done, I was listening to chill hop.
Ooh,
Cause,
I'm
like,
gonna check it out when I
I
leave.
go home to the projects and I have to do homework, and it was just seemed impossible.
Yeah.
So chill hop always did it for me.
Oh, that's dope.
Chill
Chill
hop's
hop. Thank
definitely
you for
hot.
sharing
That's one of my
that.
favorites.
Yeah,
That's a
chill
good
hop.
I never heard of that. Ooh.
Chakra.
Yeah, they
I
got
use
different.
chakra.
They got different. They got like summer. They got winter.
Mhm.
They got essential.
Yeah.
It's like you can go through them, but that always do it for me. Though.
Chill hop. Oh, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm going into, well, not going into, but going back to roots with like acting. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And I'm doing a better job of, I'm always like I pour out and I'm a giver. So a lot of people, strangers, they'll come in my inbox like, hey, can you help me with this? And I'm like, sure. And I will like give resources, everything. And I had someone tell me like, you need to start pulling on the resources you have. Because you are always giving freely to everybody
It's a danger
else.
behind that. The hidden danger, and I have to interject.
Yeah.
The hidden danger of being a giver is after you finish doing all the giving,
Oof.
what do you have left to give to your
I
own
promise
self?
you.
Because you're not.
And if
it's
you
not
don't have
just a-
people that pour back into you,
Exactly. I was just, you done hit the nail
Woo!
on the spot.
You have to know how to pour into yourself.
Pour
Because you
everything
will
out.
be drained.
You would be
Yes.
drained, right?
Yes,
you got to know how
Lord.
to. So just be careful about not
I
just
agree.
what you giving, not just, but the quality of giving.
Yes.
And who you giving it to?
And who you
Key.
giving it to. But the
Key.
quality is more important. Because if you give out too much quality, then at the end of the giving, you be like, all right, I'm tired.
Yeah, and then
You know
you
what I
feel
mean?
like, depending on what you're giving, because sometimes you give people your quality and they like, I ain't asked for that.
I asked for that.
I ain't even want that. You like,
That's
are
what
you
I'm saying
what?
about who you're
Right.
giving it to.
Excuse
because
me?
Right.
You giving them this quality.
So you gotta
give
be
them this quality,
careful.
They trashing you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We talked about this the other day. Like people will come. You get
You'll-
people. They'll talk. They'll talk to you to get what they need. They'll walk out the room and trash you immediately, and then turn around and smile back in your face and ask for more.
But
You'd
you
be
know
surprised
what?
how common that is.
Can I say something about that?
Yes.
Yes. Go for it.
Listen, whenever that happens, you've already done what you're supposed
Supposed
to
to
do.
do.
So who cares? It was like once, let's say we all sitting here and there's two people right here, and they're like, "Oh, so let me ask you, bro, like, how did you do this? Esther, how'd you do?" And we, freely and with a pure conscience and a good space, give it to them, and then they walk out like, "Oh, they thought they was all that." It's already, it's off of me at that point.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
You
It's
can
on
take
you.
what you will with that because I did what I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So don't
Very
even
true.
worry. I just say that to say like, because you're always gonna have
It
that. We
takes-
call that a hater.
Hater.
That's called a hater.
To all-
You know what I'm
For lack of
saying?
better words.
They're all around that.
It takes a
Yeah.
higher frequency person to say that because
Yeah.
a lot of times that little bit of hate back makes people go. But people on
Now, you
higher
can't-
frequency,
like, I
But
ain't
those
mad.
are the people who receive the hate.
Yeah, they
Right,
receive
right.
it and take
You
that
can
stuff
be
and just
aware,
ball it
but
up
you
and
ain't
be
got to
like-
take it in.
Right.
They look at it and be like, you know what? Later.
You can't believe
That's it.
everything everybody
Right.
says.
They
That's
sensitive
it.
to energy too. Some of them like they may be sensitive to what somebody may tell them. Oh, they done hurt my feelings. Nah, let
You know what I
that
find?
wear that with a sleeve and just keep persevering
Yeah.
in life.
People that are genuine will always persevere in everything.
Always.
No matter how much hate they receive,
Mhm.
they take it, they push it to the side and keep moving forward. And they're blessed because they have a natural. Well, I need your frequency thing. They just have a natural
aura.
a natural aura that says, hey,
I
no
felt
matter
that.
what I do, I'm gonna be blessed
Just
because
gonna
I'm
have
giving
that.
out the blessings.
I
And
felt that.
and I don't ask for nothing back, and it just happens.
But that's how it works.
Yeah, that's
Just
how
to be
it works.
clear.
I know
That's
how it works,
exactly
but
how it works.
It's a lot of
yeah.
people they don't understand that's how it works. They're like, well, I'm gonna do something nice for somebody and I'm gonna get something back. It don't always
It don't work
Don't
like
do
that.
it
It's
that
your
way.
If
intention.
you're
Yeah,
doing
I
it
don't
like
even want
that,
nothing
you're
back.
not gonna receive it
Yeah.
back. You're just
Yeah.
doing it to be doing it.
Right.
So I want to ask you this.
Mhm.
Out of every artist, producer, executive, interviewer, what has been or who has been your most rewarding person, self-rewarding, say, I did this with this person, or I had this contact, or
Coco from SWV. Shout out to Coco from SWV.
That's what's up.
I have to give her flowers because so when I was living in New Jersey and I was driving in New York, right? And I used to go, she's gonna laugh. I'm gonna make sure she sees this when she sees this, okay? So I used to go to this McDonald's, right? Off of 9W, this highway in New York. And I used to go there with this dude that was like my really good friend at the time. And we used to go up in there and we used to always see this girl. And I'm like, yo, she look just like Coco. We're not thinking it's really her, right? I'm like, yo, she looked at it. He's like, yo, she really does. Don't do nothing. I mean, listen, we went there like the 4th time we go, because we used to leave from like lunch and go to this McDonald's. It's like the 4th time. I'm talking about over the course of like a couple weeks. She's in there again. So he's like, yo, I'm just gonna ask her. And I was like, it ain't her, man. Like, I just feel like she looks like her. He's like, I'm just gonna ask her. So we're not expecting her to be like, oh yeah. Listen, he walks up to her. He's like, yo, people tell you look like Coco. She's like, yeah, right? And he's like, are you Coco? She's like, yeah. He's like, I mean, totally fanned out. Yo, it's Coco. And I'm like, yeah, right? Yeah.
Don't know that.
But what was so dope about her is like, so I'm standing up and she was like, I guess you like coming here too, right? And I was like, yeah. And we just start, just like how we started, like we just start talking. And then she's like, oh, you should call me sometime. We exchanged numbers. And this girl, like, really genuinely, like with a good heart, like, she invited me to her home. And I never said this to her because we haven't spoken in a while. Like, she's doing her thing. And I'm so funny. I never want people to think that I just deal with them because of who they are. Right, so if I don't have nothing to really talk about, which I probably need to get out of that, I'm not going to call because I just don't want you thinking that. You're a star. So, and I'm sure there's so many people trying to take advantage of them. So I don't want her thinking I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Continue. But I was at her house and she's coming down the stairs. Now I'm sitting on the couch, okay? And it's not dawning on me, this is Coco's house.
Right.
And she starts singing Weak.
Coming down the stairs.
Singing it. And when I tell you,
okay, I'm found out
I could
right
not
now.
breathe. I was like, so it's funny because her mom was there and I didn't know her mom's watching me. And I'm just like,
right.
And I'm watching her come down the steps. Right. Her mom was like, just sitting there like laughing at me because she saw the whole, and I'm like, oh, this is really her.
Yeah.
I'm really in her house.
Even though you met
This is her mom. Like, she's singing the song I grew up to. Whoa. Like, it was just so much for me in that moment. Like, it was bugged out. But that girl was so sweet. And like, she really like gave me a lot of opportunities, not even knowing me. Like come to the studio. This person's going to be, and I don't want to throw too many names out there, but she put me in the studio with some heavy hitters. Like, just come through. Let's see what you do. And she didn't have to do that.
Right.
So that, to me, if there's somebody that just offhand thinking, it would be her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was dope. It was so dope.
I
and
love
not
Coco.
asking for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and she's really a good person. She's a good person.
You can feel her energy through the TV,
She's a
through
good
the music.
person.
Yeah.
So we haven't spoken in a while, but I have so much love for her and I cheer her on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
she didn't have to like move for me that way. She didn't have to give me her number. I called her. She was so cool. Hey, lady. I'm like, what's up, girl? You know, like, cool. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That would be my one.
It made me laugh because I've met a few people, but one time I posted a clip of a more recent song Jay Electronica had released. And he commented on my...
That's so dope.
Girl, I was calling people,
like,
but this was the funny thing. I was calling people like, yo, Jay Electronica just commented on my post. And they was like, who is that? I was like, are you fucking crazy? Did you not know who Jay Electronica? But so I can't imagine sitting in Coco's room when she comes down the stairs. Right. Man, that had to be.
And it's really her.
I would have been weak. I would have been weak.
Definitely melted.
Listen, if I could have melted in the floor,
right.
swallow me whole, okay? Because I was just sitting there like,
I would put an autograph. She signed.
I could not believe it, and it took a minute. I couldn't even recover for a minute. Her mom just sitting there looking at me like, That's my daughter. It was
Shout out to the mom.
Yeah. And she's her mother is like a whole star of her own right. You know what I'm saying? Her mom sings. Yeah, her mom's the GOAT. And she's beautiful. So it was just
that wasn't no accident.
Level.
That was all meant to be.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
All meant to be.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was her aura. Like your soul said that you gotta think about it. You putting out just your physical, not your physical, but just your aura. Yeah. Allow her to feel comfortable enough to invite somebody I met at McDonald's.
Isn't that something?
To my crib.
Right.
That's
and not knowing me from to know where you live. Yeah. And see, and the morals and principles I stand on, like I used to tell people this, not a toot my own horn, but toot. Because like it's not a lot of real ones left. Yeah. For real. Right. And like I'm solid as I tell everybody, I don't care. You're not gonna meet another one like me. You're just not. We don't come around often. No. Like, and I would have never told anybody like one that I even like when I met her. I didn't tell outside of the dude that was with me. I didn't even tell anyone because I'm like I don't even want to get excited about it. I don't want to slip. You know what I'm saying? So I would have never like betrayed her trust. Right, you know what I'm saying? Or anything. Like I just honored what it was because I was like, yo, this is dope. That she's gonna. It had to be a humbling experience. You know? Like, yo, you are a whole superstar. It was fun.
Helping me with your music.
Helping me with that, but not even just that. Like when you're growing and a queen from higher levels than you reaches down and grabs you by the hand as a woman, like I can't even explain how that feels.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you that. You know, like what's your dynamic with your sisterhood? You know, how you operate in that. You know, do you get together with them often because you're doing the women's empowerment, but that had to stem from more,
so, you know, it's interesting, and I don't know if this is a bad thing. I don't get together with them often because I'm very much an introverted extrovert.
I feel
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm very much like you can put me in a crowd and I can go anywhere dolo. Like take me to the hood, I'm comfortable. Take me to the White House, I'm comfortable. I can go anywhere and I'm gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna feel good.
Right.
But it's like I also enjoy my space.
Of course.
And you know what I'm saying? So like when I did that empowerment thing and like when I tell you I was like drained for like 2 days after, only because I gave so much.
You gave a lot.
And then I wanted so much. And like I wrote handwritten cards, 30 something not even thinking that many people was gonna come. Handwritten cards. Thank you so much for coming. Because I like those type of persons. And women, we like that.
Right.
Like if I could have bought flowers for everybody, I would have. Because we love, I like the mushy shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. So like, and I'm like, I feel like a woman would really appreciate that. And even the cards, they were like, wow, and it was just a simple, small card, you know, but to see the look, like, oh, I appreciate this. This is dope. So I didn't like follow up like, hey, let's chill. Because I'm like, no, I feel like my goal is when we get together, I want y'all to have the safe space. And I'm going to purely give of myself and you give of you. And until next time, you know what I'm saying? Right. Not that I wouldn't want to be with somebody, but I need to be able to like just regenerate.
Right.
Yeah. Refuel myself. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If I do it too much, I feel like I'll be like,
no, I
feel too much.
I mean, but even that's like when you get older, because I have a tribe, you know, I have a sisterhood, but I don't get to spend time with them all the time. Like sometimes I go months without talking to some of them, but when we do speak,
it's all good.
You know, we pick right up. Right. You know, we're mothers, we're entrepreneurs, we're career oriented, we're stay-at-home moms, we're wives and fiancés and you know, single and carrying a lot. So,
women wear a lot of hats.
Yeah. So we don't always have the opportunity
to get together.
Right.
I have two best friends. One I actually met out here in college. I was a K-Fear.
Okay.
Kezia, she's dope.
Shout out to Kezia.
Shout out to Kezia. That's my boo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Keith? She'll be cracking up. And then my homegirl Harmony from and that's like over 20 plus years.
Oh, wow.
You know, so like I have my tribe, like my close, my people, you know, Naisha. Like it's a couple girls that I'm like, these are my dogs. I know if I need them, they're there. But it's the same thing. We don't speak all the time.
Right.
You know, but those are the ones I really get along with the most. Right. Like they know that we're busy. Everybody's right now.
Nobody's offended.
Right.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yes.
Because I'm feeling this. I'm just going to say this. Okay? Because when I flow, I need to flow.
Go ahead.
Now is the time for all of y'all to go for everything that you want to go for.
Right.
Right. Like, especially like even when, and I tell people this, when COVID happened, yo, so many entrepreneurs came out. So many Black entrepreneurs came out because it was people like really realizing I have a talent.
Right.
Why am I freaking going to this job every day and I'm making somebody else rich? And you know what? Everything's shutting down. I can tap in now.
Now.
Now is the time.
It's the age of the queen.
What?
But
Queen, it's your time.
That's very true.
Right now.
I believe that.
It is. And what's dope about what you're saying about, like, you know, I don't speak to my girls all the time. You know why? Because they know it's your time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they gonna be there. They
They said
supporting
it
you.
Right.
It's your time.
Right.
I'm telling you this.
That felt so personal.
Ooh.
I don't want to exclude everybody,
Yeah,
but I don't
no,
know when
I'm
you said
sorry.
that. I just
I'm
really
telling you.
that set in me real
I
heavy.
felt it. You see my goosebumps?
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Girl.
feel it personally from somebody saying something.
Yeah.
But I do like what she said earlier. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is deep.
Go ahead. Dave.
Sometimes when somebody speaks to a group and you as an individual feel it harder than everybody in that room, that was meant
for
message
you.
is for you.
That might not. What she's saying might have been meant just specifically for you. And even though we're hearing it and we're gonna do it,
And I want it to be for all of us.
Yeah, but it still might benefit all of us. It
Yeah.
might be through you.
Right.
You might be the catalyst that pushes
Hello.
us further
Right.
along or pushes yourself
Right.
further along. And by seeing it, come along with you.
But I have to
Yes,
say
absolutely.
what Queen brought up earlier, and I heard this at least 3 times in 3 separate occasions on this episode. Safe space. It's very important. Like I can't, and this is why I had asked you earlier, like, you know, basically, you know, like have I ever applied pressure? You gotta have a safe space for women. And I ask all men, real men out there, make sure you have that. Offer that to women. Offer that in your
Please.
household. Offer that in your
Yes,
business.
it's important.
Offer a transparent, you know, conversation, open door policy with the queens in your lives. It's so
Yes.
important to have that. Like,
Yes.
you know,
If you're a boyfriend and your wife does
even a friend. I have
Well, if you, can we go there? If you're a friend, of
even a
woman,
friend.
or you're a boyfriend or a husband, and they don't feel safe, and you're not trying to make them feel
Fact.
safe,
Right. Or they can't come talk to you.
Are you really a man? Because think about it, we're supposed to be the protector,
Right.
and that don't just mean being physical protectors, emotional. Like your woman comes and say, "I'm having a problem," and you just like pick up the sticks and start playing the game. She don't feel safe. Like she feel like you don't give a shit. You don't care what the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
Take that 10, 15 minutes or whatever it might be
Give
and
her
sit
that
there and listen to what
space.
you ain't got to give them no
And
no
I'm
feedback.
always-
Sometimes they just want to hear what they want to be heard.
Right.
That's the truth.
I hear it. I've heard it from you. I've heard it from you. I've heard it from my wife. I've heard it from my daughters. A lot of times our women aren't heard.
Man,
They
the
speak in a
other
room
day,
and everybody ignores the hell out
the
of
other
them.
day,
that
Queen
somebody
called one
yesterday.
time and said she needed somebody to come to the shop. I was ready.
I know that's
Kev got up. I said, "Do I need to get my shotgun?" I mean,
For
look, I'm
real.
ready. Hey, I'm on that rah real quick. Don't let the
Same.
positivism fool you. You know what I
And
mean?
even though I
Facts.
know you don't need, you know,
I don't need all
I know
that,
you
but-
don't need words of affirmation from me for this, but I do want to clarify. Even though I felt a lot of pressure on this podcast, every time I've had conversations with Kev and Tim, you know, more Tim, me and Tim talk on the phone a lot.
An hour or 2 hours.
Yeah, a lot. Even though I have felt the pressure, I have never felt that I had to minimize myself
No.
That's
or
so
to
awesome.
that I couldn't be comfortable enough. From the very first episode that I came here, you know,
Right.
they made me feel that I belonged here, you know, and
Right.
that what I said, what I had to say was important. It was a
Yes.
lot of times we were on the episode with Dave one time, and every time I got ready to speak, it was like a lot of talking. But Dave would be like, "Hold on, the queen talk like the queen is trying to."
Love
The
that.
queen got something to
Right,
say,
right.
you know,
Right.
and not that I need to be hyped
No,
up,
Nah, but
you
we
know,
need to
but
respect that.
but the fact that I'm respected, that I want
Right.
that you guys want to hear what I have to say,
Right.
you appreciate my input and my perspective. It needs to be more of that, you know, as we continue to grow out in society, you know, outside of just these personal things,
Right.
because it gave me the confidence to say, hey, I can. You know what
yeah,
I'm
oh,
saying?
yeah,
I
yeah.
can
Do
be
this.
myself. I
That's
can
right.
speak my piece and my opinion and
That's
my word and
right.
not
Right.
be criticized
Nah.
and judged. And you
Not
know,
at all. No,
I'll
yeah,
say this,
yeah.
I'll say this. Don't think that it's from my dad or nothing telling me this stuff. When I say this, and I say this wholeheartedly, the people that I got 90% of my fire from, and I say that hard body, like my dad's the 10%. He taught me the wisdom, but the fire, the anger, when something goes
I
wrong with
feel
women was my
Yeah,
grandmothers.
bro. Shit.
You know,
Yeah.
they taught me that being a man wasn't just what you do. it's how you treat your woman.
Very true.
Because if you treat your woman like shit, you ain't shit.
Hello.
You know, I watched, like, as I got older, my grandmother would tell me what happened between them and my grandfathers as far as when they divorced or they didn't never get married. And I felt the anger and saw the pain that they had. But then on the same score, I saw two strong black women raise I saw my grandmother raise my daddy, my uncle, and my aunt, but, you know, on her own. And I saw my grandmother give up my mom to go to New York, to come back, take over after her grandparents died and raise her the rest of the way. And then when I came along, I didn't have to ask, you know, like, you know, nowadays kids, they go to daycare. My grandparents, you know, my grandmothers raised me. And like they said, you're not going to be a weak man.
Right.
And they didn't mean like you're going to be like none of that. The way they care about it, like, you're going to cook, you're going to clean, you're going to know everything that it takes to be a man.
Efficient, that's right.
And they train me. And see, like, nowadays I see kids, and, you know, we got like, that was a stupid ass debate. Buying a kitchen for your kid.
Yeah, we were talking about that because I want to buy my son.
Shit I ever heard.
Yeah, my 3-year-old son.
And you know what's
set
crazy? I saw so many women jump on that shit and say, "Yeah, that's making sense." No, what you're doing is you're training this boy that ain't no gender roles when they come to cleaning this house.
Right?
Ain't no that the woman. Let me put it this way:
it's okay for a man to help out.
I say this all the time, and it sounds like some punk shit to a lot of niggas. But if my woman ain't happy, I damn sure ain't happy. This her house.
And that's not simping. That's a grown-ass man.
Yeah, this her house.
Exactly.
You can't come in my house if my wife don't like you.
Hello.
You can be my best friend. We'll talk outside. I'm going to still be 100 with you, but you don't dot that door line because that's her house.
Right.
I pay the bills. I do this. But when it comes to it, I got no say. So when she say no,
safe space.
That's her safe space.
And that's so important.
I might clown and laugh and joke. Like, I got bro. No, I want to sleep in the bed, not the couch.
Right. That's
and
so
you know
important.
What's funny too? It's like, you ever realize how we can be in other spaces and like say we're given so much, like if I'm in a professional space and I'm all sweet, like, oh, hey. And then we'll have that and come home with our people and we don't give them that.
Yeah.
I see that so many times.
It amazes me.
That's a great sadness.
How do you go and you give other people your smiles, your laughter, your ear,
your
but you go home and you don't give it to the person who loves you the most?
That's crazy.
I see that, and I'm happy you brought that. That's a whole nother episode.
I'm happy you brought that up too. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but recently my son had said to me, because he was going through some stuff, and then I overheard a conversation. I get up in these stuff a little bit. I don't like to be overbearing, but I'm like, oh, I heard you, whatever. And I didn't know this was bothering you or you was going through this. And he was like, well, I don't want to bother you. And I'm like, what you mean you don't want to bother me? I'm your mom, you know? And he's like, well, everybody's always calling you. Everybody's always needing advice from you. And you always having to do this. And I'm like, but
he wanted you to have your safe space.
But what I said to him was, but what makes you feel like I can be that to them and not you? You know, like you're my son. You're more important to me than them.
Right.
Even though they're of value. Yeah, I love everybody, but you're my number one priority outside of all of that. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's awesome.
It's like, no, feel comfortable enough to come to me. It doesn't matter what I'm giving to somebody else. Just know that I'm here to give it to you first. You know what I'm saying?
On his part, he was watching you and he was reading you and he said, Mom has a lot on her. I don't want to burn her.
Right. But I'm not going to take that home.
He was trying to make a safe space for you by not putting more on you because you already seen what the world's putting on you. But you taught him a lesson. Like sometimes, come to mama.
Let me interject. My producer, mad because I went over a little time limit. We're going to have like 2 to 3 more minutes. This is Great Apes Cafe. Yes. I hope that you like, subscribe, share. A lot of gems is definitely dropping on this episode. Yeah. And before I actually start wrapping this up, what's going on with the fact that the safe space? I have to just bring that up. I need men to make sure you have safe. If you don't get anything else from this episode, DJ, you might need to call this episode Safe Space. You know what I mean? If you don't get anything else from this episode, please have a safe space. Especially, it's more so important today with the buffoonery and fuckery and negativism happening in the news, in the world, in this country, in this town. Just have a safe space for the ladies. For your princesses and queens and children. But before I bow tie this episode, do you have any shout outs you want to do? Do you have any projects you're working on that you want to shout out? You know.
I want to shout y'all out.
Thank you.
I want to shout y'all out because y'all really have something so dope with this.
Thank
And
you.
like the dynamic between y'all is so dope. Y'all made me feel, I mean, you're talking about how I came in, but y'all made me feel really comfortable. Like I felt like family as soon as I walked in the door. And I feel like that's awesome. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
And then it was even like, I mean, down to like when I was sitting in the car, right? So look, so she was like, I'm pulling up in like 2 minutes, right? And I saw her, I felt you. So, because I didn't know what your car, but I swear I felt her. So I'm like, oh, I know that's her. So, and then I'm just not paying attention. I think I was sending a text. And when I looked out I went to get out the car, she just politely standing like a little bit behind. She was like, oh, I didn't want to walk up to the car. And it was just so, I was like, that is so sweet. And then I was like, you could have, like, I would have. And I was like, and I hope it didn't sound weird, but I was like, I would have felt you if you'd have walked up, right? I would have felt you because I can feel people, but I just thought that was even that, you know what I'm saying? So I felt so comfortable. My shout out goes to y'all.
I appreciate it.
Because I want y'all to continue to thrive.
Thank you.
This is going to be so big for y'all.
Thank you.
And I mean, I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm honored that you guys had me
here.
And
so
Queen, I'm so honored that I got to sit across from you and see you glow. And you know what I'm saying? And
we all are.
Y'all about to do y'all thing. So strap in.
I appreciate it.
Strap in. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful ride for y'all.
One thing I learned from this whole episode, from the experience, is there's no such thing, really ain't no such thing as coincidence.
That's facts.
No.
Everything happened for a reason.
That's facts.
And so with that being said, this is Great Apes Cafe, great appreciation for people, entertainment, and success. Yes. We hope that you like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Let us know what you get from this episode. Because I definitely got something.
I can't stop smiling. I'm feeling out over here. For real. I'm feeling out.
You gotta throw something
DJ, I apologize. I ain't blaming the alcohol that I went over this episode.
It's just good energy.
I'm blaming the whole. It's like a Mount Everest of energy. I'm just a tadpole swimming in energy. You know, on both sides.
Oh yeah. Hey yo.
And look, and Brittany don't have to come after my socks today, y'all. Shit, nah.
That's what you mean, though. You got a lot of scars on your legs, dog.
I got a lot of scar battle wounds.
Don't do him like that.
Look at the knees.
Your pain.
Track feet and all, you know, football feet.